Buds, you be.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be. My name is Marva B. I am the CEO and founder of Black Link Magazine, and I'm so excited to be here this evening with the Miss Regina Taylor, the awesome Miss Regina Taylor. Welcome to Black Link Magazine.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great to talk to you this evening.
It's so good to have you. As I said prior to this, I'm very humbled that you are here, and I'm sure my audience will enjoy this interview as much as I will. So we'll just get right in, jump right in, and allow you to introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are and a little bit about what you do, because we'll talk about that a lot on this interview.
Okay. Yes, my name is Regina Taylor, and I'm an actress, writer, director, producer, and activist.
Yes, and you've done so many great things. And I just want to start by asking, how did you get into this entertainment business? You've been in it for so long. Was it just something you always aspired to do, or were you thrown in it? Some people say, oh, I was thrown in it. What is your story?
Oh, uh, I always wanted to be a writer. I was writing since I was a child, children's books. One of my first memories was my mother's hand on mine, creating children's books.
Oh, wow.
And my mother was very mindful in that she wanted to teach me what she called a survival tool, creativity. You're going to have it in this world. Just as my grandmother, with 9 children, worked around the clock, and at certain points, the check fell short of the next paycheck. So you got to think creatively to figure out how you're going to stretch things for those 9 children. It is then something that is very practical uh, in so many ways. And my mother thought that creativity could take me any direction I wanted to go. So she taught me, one, how to write from a very early age.
Right.
It was that you start with your imagination. You
Mm.
have to, and then you build it. And that's the practical part. You have to roll up your sleeves. You have to work hard at it to implement certain things in terms of a path, a strategy, so that you can make those dreams concrete. How do you do that? So that was a lesson in how you might survive in this world. So I always wanted to write. I was always writing. Before I can remember, I was writing.
Wow.
I thought the practical thing for me to do was to go into journalism. I love writing books. I liked writing, talking to people, interviewing people.
Yes.
So I went to college with a, a journalism major at Southern Methodist University.
Oh, okay.
In Dallas, Texas, where I was.
Ah,
And I lived in Oklahoma for a while. We lived in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
I have family in Muskogee.
Oh, still?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
well, I would like to go back and visit there sometime. I haven't been there since I was a child.
Oh, wow. Probably it's a lot changed. A lot has changed
Yeah,
since
yeah,
then.
you remember the song, I'm proud to be an Okie from Muskogee.
Yes. Yes. From writing, journalism, went to college. How,
Yes.
what's next?
Well, my counselor said you need to fill out some extra credits. Why don't you take an acting class? It's an easy credit, is what he said. So I took it, and while I was in the theater department, I saw Henry Fonda was at our school.
Ah, uh-huh.
Jane Fonda's father
Yes.
is, and I was too shy to say hello to him, so I was just like walking down the hall behind him, stalking him. And this woman saw me stalking Henry Fonda, and she said, "Are you an actress?" I said, "Yeah, okay." And she was an agent, And she said, well, there's this movie audition this weekend. If you go off Route
Whatever.
32
Yeah.
to Motel 6, um, there's this audition for this TV movie. Would you like to go? And I said, yeah, okay, why not? So, because I'm not a fool, I took my biggest cousin with me.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
And
We don't come
I,
along.
mm-mm, and I made up a resume, took a picture, went in, and I got the job. And
Wow.
it was a made-for-TV movie starring Joanne Woodward about the first Black students to integrate the Arkansas school system.
Wow.
So uh, I played Minnie Jean Brown, real life person
Yeah.
of Little Rock Nine, and took my first plane ride that summer during the school break, and shot that right there in Arkansas, Little Rock. Was my start of coming back, changing my major to becoming an actress. Yeah.
That's awesome. And it all of that got you to two global award. You won the global awards, two-time NAACP Image Award. You're a writer, you're a producer, you're an activist, you're so many things. First African American female to receive the Golden Globe Award. Is that correct? For the best leading actress in a drama series. Is that right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. Uh, and I just found out that someone was telling me that recently. I didn't know that. Yes. Because,
Congratulations on that.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
You have made so many strides, and you are an inspiration to young Black women. Me myself now, like I'm sitting here being inspired right now, knowing that we can do anything that we set our minds out to do, and we shouldn't let anything come between that. Now here you are doing all these things as an African American Black woman, right? Tell me about some of your experiences getting to where you've gotten, because for me, and what I've learned about entertainment, it's not an easy industry to be in. Sometimes can be really rough, especially on a woman, let alone a Black woman. Are there some things that you can remember that you can share with us about your journey in this industry?
Well, I think the industry is rough to begin with. The percentages are against you. The odds are against you. Every 250 perhaps auditions you go to, you might get one job.
Wow.
Uh, that most of the people paying dues are unemployed in uh, the uh, industry in
Mhm.
terms of acting. So you have to be resilient. Mhm. You have to know what you bring, what you're offering.
Right.
Most times it's subjective, whether you look like somebody's ex-wife or they may want to hire their niece.
Right.
Uh, you have to give that, or you're just not right for the role this time. It's a lot of times subjective. So understanding that, you just keep going out there. You believe in yourself. You know what you bring in terms of being your unique, authentic self. That's what's special. You might look like somebody else that might get you in the door. Oh, you're alike. And then you get in the door and you say, yes, I may look like this person, but this is who I am.
Yeah.
uh, and let your light shine in that moment to be prepared. One, that's a lot of work, determination, uh, and not giving up on your dreams. Yes.
Yes,
Um,
I love that.
yes. So I think with everybody, it's really rough, this business, and it has been. Things have changed, hasn't it? Uh, Things have changed in recent years
Yeah.
in terms of being African American and female in this business. Before, you have one. You
Yeah.
would always have that one big star, that one lead, that one person who got all the jobs.
Yeah.
And now there's this wow resurgence, explosion. Um,
Yes.
knocking down the ceilings
Yeah.
and the wall and creating the walls from scratch that come from us. And I'm really finding that that's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a wow moment. It's a
it
wow.
is a wild moment, isn't it?
It
And
is.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Wakanda forever. You know, I'm just
The
like,
forever.
wow.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
We're seeing new paths being made.
Yes.
Uh, it's just a matter of just looking up at the sky, the vastness of the sky, and it's anything is possible.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. Yeah. 'Cause you are recently celebrating the 20th anniversary of I'll Fly Away. Is that correct? Let's
That's
talk.
right.
And I read about, the part you played and what it was about, the housekeeper and all that. Let's talk about that. That was so interesting to me.
Yes, that was one of my first big roles. It was my biggest role at that point in my career that really opened a lot of doors. I'll Fly Away, set in the 1950s. We shot it in Atlanta, Georgia. It was about this housekeeper, Lily Harper, and the man she worked for, played by Sam Waterston, lawyer, uh, and it it started out, which is what intrigued me about the series when I first looked at the script. It started out with her journal entries, so immediately you got inside her mind.
Mhm.
Uh, that was very rare at that point in time. You usually saw the stereotypical maid, and what you see are her hands, you see
Mhm.
her back.
Mhm.
You rarely get inside what she might dream about or what her family life might be. So it really opened up the what I call the demystification of the mammy at that
Yeah.
point in time in terms of TV history, and it dealt with race issues in, I thought, a very fresh and bold way.
Mhm.
Uh, it it was that you saw um, her journal entries. What was she thinking about, um, and her perspective on everything. So she's in this white household. Then she goes home. What's her community like? She lives with her dad. She has a child. She gets involved in the civil rights movement, and there is an expansion of her consciousness in being involved. A foot soldier. Um, she has a boyfriend. So she's not desexualized.
Mhm.
Uh, and I really was very proud of the work that we did in that time. Great writers, great filmmakers. It was like creating a film, being
Right.
in a film every week. The quality of the work was
Wow.
really amazing. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on that. I love that story. Um,
Thank you.
it's just amazing. So tell me, what is going on with you currently, other than that, celebrating your 20 years? What else is going on with Miss Regina Taylor currently?
Yes, in terms of writing, then it that's my other life is now writing plays,
Mm.
and I've had plays go around the country on Broadway. One play that is also celebrating its 20th year is Crowns,
Yeah.
and this came from a coffee table book from Craig Cunningham and uh, Michael, uh, the photographer
Yes.
and a journalist, who created this coffee table book off of interviews and pictures of women in Darlington.
Mhm.
Their Sunday hats, the tradition of wearing hats
Mhm.
to church, uh, is what this book celebrates. I was inspired by this book, adapted, inspired by this book to write, to create this play with music
Right.
that is 20 years strong now. That
Congratulations.
keeps speaking to our history, our
Mm.
legacy, our ancestors, our loved ones. in the telling of all of these memories cupped under the brim. I remember when I first got the book, and I was in Dallas, Texas, and I was talking to my mom about it. I was showing her the pages, and that day she walked me through her closet, and my mother isn't a hat queen as defined. Hat queen. She didn't own 100 hats, but she owned a lot of
Right.
hats.
Right.
So she took me through, and she was telling me the stories of each of these hats.
Wow.
Each hat had a memory of a wedding, a funeral, a baptism. And then she took me back through the closet because each hat had several memories.
Oh, wow.
And I learned so much about her in that day. And I was like, oh, this is, I think that was the spark in terms of how do I turn this into a play? What stories need to be told? How do we tell them to theatricalize uh, what we pass down in
Uh-huh.
terms of who we are? How do we do that?
Right.
What's the beginning sparks of how that might be done was at my mother's house. Uh,
That is amazing.
yeah, yes. So I'm really very happy that the play continues to me to be such a great gift.
Yeah. How do you cast for a play that you've written? Like, how do you know, yes, that's the one? That's the one, right?
Well, sometimes you're very fixed in your mind, because you're alone trying to capture these voices, and
Yeah.
you know how the character talks, how they walk. You're trying to be really specific about all of it for each of the characters. And then you think that an actor will come in the room and that's who they are,
Uh-huh.
that person you've been talking to in your head
Right.
for a while. I love it when you find that person,
Right.
that person that fits your imagination. What I also love are actors that come in and you go, oh, that's not that's not who I was thinking. But you know what?
Right. Right.
That's right. That's
Huh.
great. Love that. And I think that's the bridging of writing. Writing for theater is a collaboration.
Yeah.
So, what's in your mind?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
Capture that, and you hopefully have, a strong um, piece with a soul and a
Right. Yeah.
skeleton and some good meat
So
and a heart and brain. But uh, it comes alive with your collaborators, with your director, with the actors,
right.
with designers, that they're fleshing the piece out then. And they stretch you beyond your imagination
Uh-huh.
in, in uh, setting that to the stage.
Wow. That's amazing to me. I am so in tuned to that. I just want to know. I just know how it's done. I want to see it from the beginning to end, how it comes to life. Like you've been writing all this time, and now here it is, 20 years later, that it's come to life, right? And we thank you for all of your work that you've done in the arena of writing and producing and acting, because now young people coming up behind you, you've opened a door for them, and so have to be appreciative for you as well, and for everyone that has done that for people coming up behind you. So great work. I think that you're a brilliant person. I do. And I don't know, but you're inspiring me to the core sitting here, so I appreciate that. Tell people how they can follow you, how they can see your work.
Yeah, I'm on all platforms,
Oh, okay.
and most recently, you can still see First Lady Viola Davis. There's also recently, I was in Lovecraft Country, and I have to say that was a groundbreaking series. Oh yes, I'm Michelle Obama's mother.
Yes, can we talk about that really quick? I don't want to hold you too much longer,
Oh,
but that was so an amazing show. And I just want to talk about your experience and how, if you had to spend time with her mom, and what did you pull from her, all those things.
oh, I was inspired by all of the ladies embodying these really powerful women. So I thought the series was very uplifting, forward thinking, and going back and seeing how uh, these first ladies broke new ground each and every time.
Yes.
Uh, I enjoyed the role, playing the role of Marion, Miss Marion, Michelle Obama's mother, uh, because she is such a great light. I remember when she took the stage. I remember her walking into the White House. And I was like, oh man, Michelle brought her mom for this experience,
Yes.
and why? Thinking why that was necessary. That you keep your ties, that you keep that foundation. You're going to need it in terms of the challenges that you might be facing
Right.
over 4 years. To step into that role was quite humbling. Um, yes. And also talking about Oklahoma
Yes.
with Lovecraft Country and playing that role of this woman, uh, the Black Wall Street Massacre, and
Mm-hmm.
taking on that story and passing it down. That's something we need to remember how uh, there's this cycle of us achieving,
Yes.
ascending, and then being decimated, burned down to the ground, literally, each
Yes.
and every time we get back up and we rise again.
Yes.
And I think that's a message we need to know about right now.
You've made some great accomplishments in your life. We support you over here at Black Link Magazine.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
We'll
it.
be watching for your next move. I will be watching for your next move and following you.
It is about letting your light shine. What makes your voice that people listen to, want to follow, are inspired by, to reach deep inside yourself and keep feeding that which is inside of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. You guys, we're going to go for now. But remember, respect yourself, respect each other.